it's Angel Vane, and this is episode 92 of My Author's Diary. I am an author of crime thrillers for women, and every week I take you through the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books. So if you haven't subscribed or followed me yet, go ahead and do that right now. This week, y'all, I am so excited to say that The Unexpected Hero, the fourth book in the Hero in Paradise series, has completed the editing process with my editor. So that's really going through the content editing phase of the novel, making sure that the story all hangs together, and some line editing, kind of a little bit of wordsmithing, but really it's focused on the story, characters, the continuity. I have gotten through that completely with the editor, have gone through and revised it, and so it was a very good iterative process between me and the editor, because the editor takes it away, gives me comments, I make some changes, and then we do what we call a read aloud edit, where we let the computer read the novel back to us, and we go line by line and make sure that the story is all hanging together. We don't see anything else that is internally inconsistent or anything else that needs to change. So we have gone through that entire process. I feel really good about the book. And to recap, when I finished the novel, that first original manuscript, I was at 99,000 words. Then I went through my own self-editing process and I knocked it down by 8,000 words, got it to 91,000 words. That's what was submitted to the editor. And now, after I've gone through all of the editor's comments and made the revisions, I have gotten the novel down to 86,000 words. So that's right in the sweet spot of the length of all of the other books in the series. So I'm really glad that I've gotten it down to in the 80-something thousand. So what's next? What's up next for The Unexpected Hero? The next phase for me is to send to the beta readers. Now these are people who have read all of the books, they love the books, they love the characters, and they're going to give me some really good feedback to make sure that the story is satisfying and enjoyable and entertaining for them. But before I send it off to the beta readers, I do want to take it through and do one pass, because the thing that I like to send as clean of a draft that I can to the beta readers, and then after the beta readers, I get their feedback, and if I can make any other edits, and then send it off to the proofreaders, copy editors, the proofreaders basically, catching those last final little nits of things that might have been missed, and all the other eyeballs that have gone across it. And so I truly try to make sure that the drafts are as clean as possible. Because when I think about it, if you send somebody a draft and it has errors all over the place, they're gonna get overwhelmed, and they're gonna fix some stuff, but they're gonna miss a ton of stuff, right? Now, if you send them something that's really clean, they're like, where are the errors? Like, where are they? So they're gonna be like really hunting for errors, and they're gonna find the stuff that needs to be found. And so one of the ways that I do my cleanup of the manuscript is by taking it through Prowriting Aid. And I have a love-hate relationship with Prowriting Aid, because Prowriting Aid has this very annoying thing that it does when I open up my document. This is a very long document. Are you sure you want to run Prowriting Aid? And I'm like, come on, people who do Prowriting Aid, soup up this software so that it can handle long documents, because hey, novelists need Prowriting Aid, right? So that's one of the things that kind of annoys me about the software. And the other thing is, I wish that there was a way that you could run it one time and then freeze those comments. Because what I hate that I have to do is, I run it one time, I start clearing stuff saying ignore this, ignore that, ignore this, ignore that. If I close down that document and then open it back up and run Prowriting Aid again, all that stuff that I ignored before, it disappears and those comments pop right back up. And I'm like, I don't want to make that change. And so what I typically do is, once I start the process for running the whole manuscript through Prowriting Aid, I leave the document up. I keep saving, but I never close it down so that I don't have it rerunning back through it's all whatever it does in the background and popping back up comments that I have already said in my mind that, hey, I'm not going to change that stuff. So those are the two things that annoy me about Prowriting Aid. Prowriting Aid has some really good reports that help me to analyze the things that are in my story and determine if I want to make some additional changes from a proofreading type of clarity type of perspective. And so that reporting function makes it worth the annoying things that I just told you guys, right? So I love the reporting function. So I am going to be live right now, and I hope I don't regret this. running the unexpected hero through Prowriting Aid with you guys watching it. I'm going to run the report. I will go through the report and I'll just kind of talk through and look at it and see what are the things that I'm going to try to fix and what are the things I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm not like even deal with that right now. Okay, so this is my manuscript, The Unexpected Hero. You can see down here, it is 86,219 words. Super happy about that. And I have this little button here. I do have a lifetime subscription, I guess a lifetime purchase of Prowriting Aid. And I think I got like a discount code from Joanna Penn or somebody. So I think there are discount codes out there floating around if you guys want to get a lifetime subscription to it and get it for a little bit cheaper than what it actually is. So then I click on Prowriting Aid and it starts this stuff here, right? But what I normally do is I say, for this piece, I open the full editor because I really wanted to run the summary report. So before it even starts trying to run a bunch of stuff, I'm going to click summary report and get it to run that for me. Okay, so as you see, it says you are trying to run on a large piece of text. It is often more efficient to run on shorter sections and iterate over them. I don't have time for that. You can run on a section of your text by saying, nah, I'm not doing that. So would you like to continue? Yes. And then we're going to see how long it's going to take for it to do this. Okay, so now we have the summary report, and I'm actually going to have it email it to me. Or maybe I won't. Yeah, okay. So I won't have it email it to me. So let's see, what does it say about the unexpected hero? So first it has, these are the most important scores for your document. So grammar score is at 85%, to increase to 100%. Spelling score is at 94%, that's pretty good. And then style score is at 74%, except, okay. Which they say try to increase to 80% or higher. Where your document looks great, 67% of goals achieved. So with grammar and spelling, sentence length, sentence variety, which is very good. I want to make sure I have varied sentences. The readability grade, so I'm at a readability grade of 5, like a 5th grade level, which is exactly kind of in the sweet spot that you want for a novel. And y'all know I always talk about that I have this tendency to write a little too formally at times because I'm used to kind of the old school taught way of doing business writing. And so I really have to watch that and really try to make sure that I make my my narration and kind of the book more informal in speech and cadence. And so really kind of hitting that 5th grade level is really good. Passive voice is really low here. Well, I work really hard on that, trying to avoid the passive voice. Conjunction starts are good. Slow pacing is good. Very long sentences, 0%. Yay, worked on that. And you know that the interesting thing about the long sentences is I used to do that so much until I had an audiobook produced. And when you are listening to a narrator trying to navigate a long sentence and it sounds ridiculous to your ears, because it's very different because, yeah, I do the read aloud where the computer kind of reads the sentence, but they are talking like a computer and you really don't get the same sense. And so, but when you have somebody trying to like emote your words and they come across this like 40 or 50 word sentence and you're like, that sounds horrible. I want to edit. Right, and so that has stuck with me. And so now when I'm writing, I pay attention to, okay, is this sentence going on way too long? Do I need to cut this sentence up and break it down? So I've really worked on that piece of it. The emotional tales, what is that? You've done more showing than telling. Yay! That is a good goal. So I'm nailing that. Acronym consistency is good. Dialogue tags. Your document has an appropriate amount of dialogue tags, okay? Unusual dialogue tags, I don't know what that means. Okay, so most dialogue tags are said and asked, which is good. So I'm keeping kind of the unusual dialogue tags like, he thundered, she screamed, why did you do this? She screamed, and then you already had your exclamation point, right? So stuff like that. Dialogue tag with adverbs. Okay, so very few of those, and then weak adverbs, I'm doing pretty good. Okay, so this is the good section. 67% of goals achieved. Ha! So that means 33% of the goals were not achieved. So let's take a look at those. Well, your document may need work. Okay, so I know grammar is my weakness. Like, seriously. Okay, so the style score, which again, and you know, with these, because these are bots, right? So it's like, you know, there's formulas and stuff that they have in the background. So you really have to think about, okay, what is your own author style? And you don't necessarily have to accept all of the stylistic changes that they are suggesting. But it is good to see so that you say, well, yeah, I'm choosing not to do it that way. I like the way that I've done it. You're kind of making that conscious decision. So I'm a little off from that by about 6%. The grammar score, I don't know where to put commas. I mean, I think that's what that boils down to. Yeah, not knowing where to put commas. So I'll go through and try to clean up this grammar score and get it closer to 100%. The spelling score is at 94%. I really think for the spelling score, a lot of the times what I find is that it's your own like names and, you know, places that you have kind of created and made up a name for that they tag as being misspelled. And so once you kind of like accept that and kind of let them learn those words, then this spelling score will actually increase a whole lot. Quote consistency. So this is odd because it tells me that my quote consistency is 100% and then increased to 100%. So seems like there must be a little bit of a glitch there. Don't know. Okay, so I'll look into quote consistency. Okay, your document scored 100%. We suggest a score. Really, Prowriting aid? Like, this should be added up to my you did this good. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. Okay. So, oh God. Oh! I was afraid that was going to happen. All right, let's start again. All right, so we're back up. Yeah. So, like I said, not sure what's going on with this quote consistency because it looks like I nailed that anyway. Glue index. Again, I'm not going to click on this right now because I don't want to have to redo the report. But I am, okay, so we suggest, okay. So I need to look into this glue index and see if I can reduce that down to about 40%. Long repeated phrases. I have 62 of those. They said reduce to 3. So I do know that within my novel, one of the things I really like to do is have an interaction with Julian and Mina with, you know, a couple of lines of text back and forth and then show it from Julian's perspective. And then also the next scene will be Mina and you'll see a snippet of the exact same couple of lines from her perspective and what she was thinking as that the exchange was happening. And so I tend to do that quite frequently, and I think that that's being caught up in these long repeated phrases, but I will check into that to make sure that there aren't some pet phrases in there that I might need to look into. And then sentences, I guess, beginning with an ing verb. Yeah, so I can work on this one to try to reduce that from the 3% down to the 2%. So let's see what else is in here. General checks, grammar, spelling, and style is at 84%. So that is good. Grammar check, aim for 0 grammar mistakes in your work. So I'll work on this piece of it. Oh, so now it's giving me details. And that's why I love this report, right? So I should have just kept scrolling down. Now we're about to get into the details of the report. So this is around how you show your ellipses. So this again, I don't know where to put commas, and that's what it's talking about right here. You might need a comma, so I'll check those. A couple of places where I should only have one space after a period, and what ends up happening is I end up, you know, cutting out stuff, and so sometimes that leaves extra spaces because I know to only have one space after a period. M dashes, yeah, I gotta go and fix those. This was funny. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna leave that one alone. But some of this stuff here, you know, could just be could. That helps me save some words, possibly confuse words. So again, I'll go through this list and then really kind of identify which ones. Spelling score. Okay, so these are the words that they think are misspelled. So I can tell you El Mago is fine. El Harakat is fine. Julian Montgomery is fine. Dirtboard is fine. Rebreather is fine. Okayo is fine. Broman is fine. Dry suit is fine. Dirtboarding, like, so these things are like, these are not, these are not errors. This stuff was in dialogue, so I'm okay with that. This is colloquial, okay with that. So I kind of go through this stuff. I'm not really concerned about any of these words. I don't think that they are misspelled at all. Now the writing style check. So this is where I got the 74%, and they're saying, hey, you need to be at 80% or higher. So some of the things that they have identified here, I have a big problem with that. So this one, I'm absolutely going to go back through and try to delete that out of my document. These, be able to, was able to, like, I can absolutely go back and fix some of this stuff. This is the stuff that I actually do want to go back through the document and clean up. Because stuff like in light of, it's like, that's 3 words, but I could probably replace it with 1. So I'll go through this full list and really focus on trying to clean up these items out of the document. Yeah, like be responsible for taking. Maybe just say take. Went out of his way to manipulate. Maybe just say manipulated. Like, those are things that I need to see and hear. Yeah, some of these are filler words, so like the at times, all of, in the midst of, in an attempt. It's like, maybe enhanced by removing this, because those are probably just filler words. And I will look at it and see, okay, if I take this out, it doesn't even impact the sentence or what the emphasis or whatever I was trying to do in that sentence, and I will absolutely remove that, because guess what? She is still trying to cut words. I do not want to have, I want to try to make the novel as tight as possible, and I have a bunch of extraneous words that are not necessary. So I'll definitely be going through these to try to clear those up and make any edits that are necessary. I have not overused passive voice, so I'm not looking at nothing as passive voice, right? If it's not overused, I'm good. 4.6 on their scale, I'm good. I'm not going to even worry about it. I've done more showing than telling. Great. Weak adverbs. Got a good score on this one. Not worried about that. Not going to even look at no adverbs. Okay, so here are the bad adverbs that I've used. Slowly, slightly, quickly, exactly, barely, gently, instantly, heavily, especially, tightly. Okay, not too concerned about that. Okay, sentence length check. That's good. I'm good with my sentence lengths. They actually did not populate my little graph here, so I don't know how it looks. But here you can see the lengths of all your sentences. No, the graph is blank. I can't see jack squat. Okay, sentence variety. So that part looks good. 51% of my sentences are less than 10 words. Then 43% are between 10 and 19. And then these longer sentences are few and far between, which is what I'm going for. Very long sentences, which when you look up here, I had 0 above 40 words, which is really, really good, and only 1% above 30 words. So I'm really pleased about that. Readability check, again, 5th grade level. I'm really happy about that. Sentence structure check. I haven't overused conjunction starts, which is good. Okay, so this one, they say, and again, 3% to 2%, I'm like, really, is that statistically significant? Like, do I really need to look into this? I'm not sure if I will. But it's like, mine is at 3%, and most people average general is like 0.5%. So I might check on those just to see, because I'm not quite sure. I might want to do something with those. So the pacing check is good. I only have 12% slow pacing. If you have too many slower paced paragraphs in a row, your writing might be boring. So this is really good that at least from an analytical perspective, there's a less likelihood that my story is boring. So I'll take that any day of the week. And then this is like a little tiny graph here with these pacing things. Okay, consistency check. Yeah, again, quote, like 100 out of 100. I don't know why this is flagged like this, but anyway. Acronym consistency, I'm good on that. Sticky sentences. This is what I wanted more information on, and they're still not giving me anything, right? Glue index. Okay, repeats check. Okay, your repeated words. And again, it didn't populate because they say long repeated phrases. I have 62. And again, I think I know what that may be coming from, but I do want to check it. Dialogue tags are okay, so I'm not going to even look into that. Dialogue distribution, a lot of dialogue, non-dialogue. Okay, so this is my document down here. So I got a lot of dialogue. Dialogue and tag dialogue. Got a lot. But that's by design because it's genre fiction, right? So, okay, unusual dialogue tags. I'm in a good zone, so I'm not too worried about that. So I have a bunch of said and asked. I have a couple of whispered, explained, continued, demanded, added, laughed, insisted, interrupted. So I'm okay with those. Dialogue tags with adverbs, slightly, slowly, exactly, heavily, actually, completely, instantly, furtively, lazily, quickly. That's what I'm using because I'm in green. But again, it's only 3% of the total. So yeah, do I care? No, I don't care. Okay, and that's it. And so that, in a nutshell, is my first pass through with the Prowriting A report, giving me some insights into things that I want to go in and tweak and change based off of what the software has found before I hand this over to my beta readers. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. And stay tuned because very, very soon I will have a release date to announce for The Unexpected Hero, the date where you can go out and read all 4 books in the Hero in Paradise series in a row without stopping and just submerge yourself in Julian and Mina to your heart's content. So that's it for this week. If you want to continue to keep up with me and all the ups and downs that I go through as I try to write and publish new books, click the subscribe button. Then don't forget to click that little silver bell so you won't miss when I do a video. And I will see you next time.